Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to pre-market analysis, live on YouTube channel for February the 2nd, 2021. So 2201 is the date today. And as usual, we will partake into the stock market technical analysis from the top-down view to the specific movers and shakers in this pre-market. Okay, very good. Let's say hello to some folks in the live chat room. Hello, Mr. Ryan. Good morning, beautiful Gates. Hello, Miss Marcy. Glad to have you guys. If you could confirm that the quality of the sound is somehow satisfactory, I'm just crossing my fingers. We haven't had any issue recently on here. Actually, yeah, let's make sure that mic is plugged all the way in. All right, folks. Well, second day of February already, and let's dig in. Let's dig in. There's a lot going on. Yeah, the last week of January in these markets has really shown us a new side of the market, and with that, more people coming into the markets can only create some type of unexpected or unusual, let's say, behaviors. Yes, most of you are familiar with the so-called short Squeeze Saga. I shared the watch list that we created last week, and this morning, many of those stocks, they were heavily down. And unfortunately for some option traders like us, right? So you will think that a stock being down 40%, you ought to be making money on puts. Unfortunately, that's not really going to be the case here. So sorry that I'm thwarting maybe your hope there if you're holding puts in some of these short squeeze stock. So let's see here. Let's go as we usually go here, step by step, and start with the 30,000 feet view, taking a look at Spike, QQQ, IWM. So yesterday we were talking about a potential crossover of the EMA 8 below the EMA 20 on the daily chart for all three of those indexes. It didn't quite happen. As you can see here, this is a chart, the daily chart of SPY. So zooming in, we got a rejection though, a small rejection at 377 of 34, exactly as we predicted, but it wasn't much really, right? And now, hello, good morning to SPY. SPY is jumping another 3 points. That's what we have seen on here. So we could now, this is just the second day, right? But we gave you yesterday for us, our take was that, hey, either we continue down or we could find ourselves posting a new high of the day by the end of this week, because let's say we are flirting with 380 right now, which has been a resistance. How do we know that? Let's take a look at the chart here. Always look at the left to find resistance support on when you are studying a stock chart. So prior days, January 8th, the high here was 381.49, and then 380.58, 379.86, 380.86, 381.13. So you saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches around the level where, and then from there we gapped. Actually, when it was trying to cross over up this candle here, right? So first resistance came back, found support at the EMA 20 green line. Easy for me if I do this, such that you guys can see that the green line is the EMA. This is it, that there on this tiny candle on here, and we gap from there. So this morning we are gapping, and that's really what we have seen in this market. Their preferred way going up is gapping through this gap, because then they know that, hey, for traders who do day trading or whatever, good luck. You're not going to get those 3 points. Yeah. For some of us on here, we have studied SPY for the longest of time, so we are not surprised by these moves, right? So the way that we go about handling this or trading this is just we take our strangle. So for us, we took that strangle yesterday. I think we had expiration of 390 for all the way to Friday. They were cheap, and we use what we usually do. So if we have long-term calls like that, we are going to use shorter term puts as a hedge. Yeah, meaning that we don't have to pay that much in both directions. That's a technique that we teach you here at Successful Trading. So let's see whatever they do on here. QQQ is going to have an opportunity. Well, so there's always an opportunity on QQQ. First of all, QQQ is gapping 3 points, exactly 3 points for good measure at 325.46. Yeah, imagine, folks. Let's say you bought the dip on buying the dip. That's a phrase actually in this stock markets, right? So you bought the dip at 312.76 on Friday. Now you're finding yourself 12 point up on QQQ. Yes, that's what's up on here. So they will have QQQ will have two catalysts after the market closed today, because both Amazon and Google, which are key constituents of that ETF, will be reporting earnings. So more fireworks. So again, an opportunity there for this thing to trend higher or to trend lower, because resistance on here, there has really not been. I mean, when you look at the chart of QQQ, I mean, since, let's say, there haven't been that many area of resistance, really. That's the stock. I mean, they can go sideways for a bit, like here, but then they just cap. They just gap and go. That's the story of QQQ. You don't have to fight it, yeah? We just trade whatever is in front of us, really. Days of fighting the market, I don't know if anybody makes money fighting the market. You just go with whatever that they want to do and move on. So next on here, it's IWM. The Russell's okay, the small caps. This one has had a bullish trend overall, and this morning again, it's gapping 2.5 points. It's it's not quite 1% for it. Well, 1% for it would be 2.5 points, or just 2.1 point, because it's trading at 210. Is not yet in the 300 range, like its peers, SPY and QQQ. So yeah, some of head fake into crossover, but yesterday candle say we're not crossing over. So this morning we're looking like we are looking up. So the previous high on here, the 52-week high for IWM is 217.90, let's say 218. Yeah, so you can trade this with 220s for Friday at this stage, yeah, if they don't get stuck here, because we have definitely seen resistance at what level here? 215, one touch on January the 14th, another rejection at 215.98 on January the 20th, and then the 21st, the high was 215.16. The 22nd on here, 215.33, and then the 25th, 217.91, and then 216.69. On both of those days, we actually have red candles, meaning it could not sustain. So resistance level here is clear for IWM at 215 if you are trading it. And you get past that, and it can blast all the way to the upper Bollinger, which is currently standing on the daily chart at 220.19, as seen on there. So that's it about the ETFs overall. As we welcome new traders in the live chat. Hello, Mr. Jimmy Prophet. Zorbon, glad to have you. And Mr. Wayne, good morning. Mr. Wayne, I'm not so sure. You may want to check your appointment. Did I see that you scheduled for March the 3rd? Your appointment, yeah, your next coaching session for March the 3rd. Please check to confirm that if you did not mean for tomorrow, February the 3rd. All right. And say hello, please. Say hello in the Discord, right? You should be part of the Discord. So send me a message on the Discord, Mr. Wayne T, such that, please say hello inside of the Discord if you are in. You got the credential initially. Okay. So that's that for the ETF. So the next segment that has been occupying us on here or lately, I mean the short squeeze one, but I mean the short squeeze, I don't want to make a big deal out of it or anything, right? So for me, I want us to just take a look at what's happening overall, because I mean the short squeeze will come and go. This is Finviz this morning, yeah. As you know, optionable over $20. Over 1 million shares of daily volume. And who do we have on top? Holy moly. This is what's the poster child of the short squeeze movement is doing. So how about this, folks? Going for, I did see it in pre-market last week at 500. I maintained that, though it didn't trade during live session. So 480 3 days ago, and right now finding yourself at 125. I know there's a lot of rhetoric out there, right? About, oh, don't sell. I don't know. I don't know about you, but if I were holding shares of GME, let's say from $20, and last week it went over to $400, and I did not sell because somebody is telling me that, oh, it can go higher, this, and that. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Yeah. So, and if we, for us on here trading option on it, I haven't been able to trade option on this thing because implied volatility. Yeah, that's one thing I'm really really getting into, because there's so many other opportunities to make money out of this market. Why will I be chasing something? First of all, rarely do I give to FOMO, meaning fear of missing out. If something goes away, yeah, it's fine. I didn't trade that. I will trade something else. So that's what we said on our video on Friday about this whole thing, because there's so much that's it's been shared about the theory about what's going on anything. It's more complex than that, folks. It's more complex than that. But in any case, here's a stock that's down minus 44% this morning, and you will be hard pressed. Actually, we are going to go inside of Power E-Trade in a few minutes to show you that there will be very little bit money to be made on the put side. Yeah, hence for us, it was really like, yeah, because of what's going on with implied volatility. So that's that there. What else is moving this morning? Bev Bath and B1, another classmate of GME. Silver. Oh, yeah. Silver pop, was it 10% yesterday or whatever? Well, it's down minus 5% today. Boy, guys, I don't know about you folks, but for me, like this is not trading anymore. I don't know, but this is a stock that have this type of behavior. They do not fit my trading style at all. I don't know. I can tell you that right now. Notwithstanding that there's literally no making money in option on this, because market makers, they are really just playing with retail. I mean, the stock obviously, unless you shorted the stock like they are, because they make money on both sides. That's what you need to remember, folks. Yeah, and we have been teaching in here. That's for us. We need to get into that type of mindset. Yeah, market makers. I can guarantee you that when GME was at 480, what do you think that they were doing? They were shorting because they lost a lot of money on its way up, but they have friends that give them more money, and they shorted it. So imagine them, they shorted at 480. Imagine now the stock is at 125. What do you think that's how much money are they making? So they usually come on top, folks. Unfortunately, that's the rule of the game. Oh, yes. Okay. So, Mr. Wayne, yes, please, tomorrow. Confirm then that it's tomorrow. So, long story short on here, folks, if let's see here. I don't know why I went to that. If I can make a suggestion on here, we really don't waste time and the mental energy with this thing as of now, really, unless something else happened. But for me, I will stick with which that I know, because short squeeze, they happen once in a while, but this one was really epic. It's not something that I've seen. So I will leave that alone for now and focus on other things that we know. Other things that we know is, you can tell me that, yeah, TEDx, is it any better? It's the fact that, hey, a stock like Baba had earnings this morning. And as usual, where's Baba? As usual, Baba has to be in the red column, right? Because that's how market makers, they trade that one. Baba hasn't had a recent earning where the stock, regardless of what happened, where the stock actually goes up at all. So that's just how they do it. But you and I, we have an advantage, yeah, a little bit, because we study. So we know this much. Where's Baba this morning? Is it? Are they printing 265? It went initially when the earning came out. It was about 7 something Eastern time, right? So the stock went to almost 267. I think it touched 267, and then within the next hour, hour and a half, it went to 261. Yeah, that's Baba for you. So actually we can share something. Let's share our quant analysis, because that's what we do on here. We have quant analysis. This is not just a fluke to tell you how we go about approaching earnings for a small basket of stocks, but I mean, if you have your stock that you would like us to study its behavior around earnings, you can let me know, and I will gladly tell you how to proceed. So let's see here. I'm going to go to Baba and bring the screen, the window to you. So just bear with me on here as I'm bringing that window. At the same time, I can announce to you that as we are currently approaching 9:06 Eastern Time in New York and in Toronto, I have, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4 stocks on here that I would like to take a look at the charts as well before we depart for today. So just hang around on here. There's more to come on here. So let's study Baba here, because Baba is a good friend of ours in earnings, right? So we like to trade Baba post earning, and we have documented many videos on our YouTube channel. If this is your first time on here, on how we profit from Baba on earnings. All right, so which that you are seeing here is a quantitative analysis document that we have, sole proprietary of successful trading, and we are taking a look at Baba. These are the history of the earning for Baba since January 24, 2017. Yes. So the common points, well, in the past at least, I was about to say, well, Baba recently, the last time that Baba gap up on an earning was August 15, 2019, plus 4%. Yeah. And that didn't really do well, because on that day, it proceeded to post a low between the open and the high of minus 3%. The key takeaway that I want to share with you on here is that definitely, typically on day zero, mean that the same day of the earning, Baba is usually bearish. Yeah, the moves range between 3 and 4% typically, but lately what we have been noticing is that they really frustrate traders on the first day of earnings, and the move on Baba typically come on the second day. So hence for me, I'm like torn today to say, okay, should I GangstA trade it? I mean, you GangstA trade it today is not a big deal, but I'm not going to be aggressive with that, meaning that for me, I'm going to be looking at setting up, especially if they drop it a lot, I'm going to be buying cheap calls for the rest of the week. Conversely, if it starts rising at some point, I'm going to be targeting cheap puts for the end of the week. Yeah, because that's what they do with Baba on here. And we have had videos on here how we showcase to you, especially on day one, meaning tomorrow, it's when we expect them to whatever hidden move. Baba is trading, we're going to see that shortly here. Baba is trading over 1 million shares in pre-market. And at some point, the stock was literally just flat. Yeah. So that's the so-called, that word that I don't like to use, right? Manipulation. So, I don't like to use that word that much. So that's what's going on there. So patience will be key here on Baba. All right, before we jump inside of Power E-Trade, just to take a look at, I need to illustrate what's going on with the option chain of GME and all of the other like what's almost impossible to make money on a stock that's down minus 44% this morning. Let me go and share. Just look at the chart from a few stocks here. Okay, here's one of them, another one, right? SPCE. I'm not sharing the proper screen. Let me share the. So here's SPCE. Yesterday, jumped to 57 during the trading hours, the trading day, right? And then retreated to 53, literally in the last hour of trading. Then in after hours yesterday, went to 60. Pre-market this morning was 61, and now it barely can hold 58. So yeah, talk about Wahala, right? So that's another graduate of the short squeeze one. But no, shy of short squeeze, that specific stock that I want to that's still regular stock folks for us to trade, right? I want to bring one to your attention this morning. Oh boy, this is Oxy. This is all industry, obviously, and we have talked about this one before, because for the longest time, this is the 30-minute chart. Let me show you the daily chart. This is what its daily chart looks like. I mean, until yesterday, almost a crossover, right, between EMA 8 and the EMA 20, but not quite. So it has been just consolidating at this level, and then this morning, and this is the part that's a little bit frustrating, but for us, that's good enough, because this gap of $1, which represents about between 4 and 5% on a $20 stock. Again, folks, this is not short squeeze. This is standard trading. Yeah, no. I have enough of that short squeeze, whatever. So this stock on here, Oxy, If this consolidation resembles this one on here, though it didn't gap on here, it can initially start its trend back up, and the target on here will be that upper Bollinger. So I want you to bring that to your attention on here as a potential midterm, short-term range trade on Oxy. Let me bring another one on here that we like and that some of you may be familiar with. This is FCX, Freeport McMoran Inc. After its earning last week, notice what happened. It had a dip, touched the lower Bollinger. Since then, it has been posting higher highs each and every day. Yeah, don't be surprised if this stock is trading above $30 soon. Not sure if it's going to post here, but typically it hasn't recently. Over the last month, I mean, the size of the daily candles has been bigger and no consolidation. If either a feast or famine for this one on a day-to-day basis. But I like the trend on here, posting of higher highs, though on some days it gaps up and then puts. So meaning all these red candles are in this scenario, you can time it for a good entry, a cheap entry on that pullback. It's trying to recapture the exponential moving average 8, which is currently at 28.14. So it's opening above that here in pre-market. And the EMA 20 is not that far at 28.34. So that's stock number 2. Stock number 1, if you missed it, was Oxy, currently gapping about 4 or 5%. There's a stock that has really just been not doing that much. CRM. It hasn't been doing much, folks. And it's just, look at the chart here. Look at the chart. It's better if I show this way. All right. So since December the 2nd, earning. So this thing gapped down. It has been a long sideways, folks. But there is this gap overall, right? That's on its way gapping down. So above 233. So today we are starting maybe at 230. Has just been, there hasn't been a way to make money on here. But the question is, how long are they going to do? Which that they like best, to just gap it up such that to frustrate people here, and then gap it up one of these days. We are starting at 230 today. Let's see. The target is definitely 240, 245. It's what you're targeting. Last one for the road. I'm in rare form today, right? Just spitting stock on there. How about our friend Apple? Our friend. I don't know about our friend. Okay, so has Apple found support on here, folks? About 132. It's gapping this morning to 136, just below the EMA 8. That's the yellow line that you see there on the daily charts, right, at 136. Could it be because for us, we have witnessed this movie before? So this calls, out of the money calls on this are cheap, usually have a tendency to be very cheap. We're talking 10 cents, 15 cents, and let's say for things calls above 145. So you could be rewarded later in the week if, let's say, these guys, because this is on QQQ, this is on SPY, so meaning that which that going to be happening after hours. If QQQ is trending up, this one could be benefiting the most out of that. So I'm definitely have Apple as another one that I'm looking at. All right, okay, all right. So let's dive in on here to close and take a look at inside of the Power A trade to see specific levels and to show you the option chain of the so-called short squeeze. All right, so here's one of them. Which one is this? Let's start with this is SPCE, Virgin Galactic Holdings. Yeah, not to be confused with SpaceX. Looks what's going on here, folks. Here's the implied volatility this morning. I'm showing you the put side, but doesn't really matter. Let's show you the call side. You see which that the market makers are doing here? The implied volatility now is coming down. -6%, -7% across the board. Why? Because they don't want to pay for those options now because the price is appreciating. Conversely, if you go to GME, GameStop, this is what's going on GameStop. The stock is down, well, actually, it's just recovering a little bit. It was down -44%, right? On here recently. Actually, instead of saying all, let me just put maybe the 40 of them. So the implied volatility for options on the call side it's increasing here right now. Why? Because the action is happening on the other side. Look what the market makers are doing, folks. Please, if you can get a good understanding of this is very important. The stock is coming down, meaning that money should be made on the put side, right? And these puts that are supposed to be paying today because the stock lost $86 compared to yesterday. Look at these puts close to the money, the 135, the 140. Implied volatility is down minus 76%. They can't do that. Yeah, that's just flat out doing them. Yeah, now you can ask me, hey, yeah, and how do we consider? Look at these. That's our in these. They are increasing. They are increased. On the call side, because some people could be inclined to say, oh, let me buy calls on here. Yeah, of course, they want you to buy calls, but they want you to buy expensive calls. All of these are positive. And look at the price, folks. Yeah, so this is no flight zone for me, really, because I don't know when was the last time that I bought a contract at $70. $70. This is not. That means $7,000, folks. Yeah, that's what this 70 mean. So that's exactly not what we do around here. Though this price will come down in a bit here at the open, but forget about it. Hence, you haven't been seeing me trying even to try our luck with the GangstA trade or anything like that. So this is really what's just, it's a waste of time for me as of now. So that's what we wanted to show you on here. If we go to our friend Baba, okay, so Baba actually, by all accounts, Baba being flat at 264, that's a win. I keep you not because, and Baba is one of those stocks. Don't be surprised by it. If you're holding puts on here, the actually puts or calls on here, because the implied volatility, they can make it such that you could be making money and the stock is not moving. I kid you not. So for us on here this morning, they are not doing anything on implied volatility because they wasn't expecting much. Typically, not much happened on here. So this is one of those days because look at the number of shares, folks. 2.3 million shares. 2.3 million shares, and the move is only minus 0.22. Come on. So yeah, whatever that's you will want. So let me give you some levels on here. So from here 264, I've done the study and we don't have time really for me to go through that. About 15 to 20 points. Yeah. So anything, let's say 240, 245, 250 on the put side. If you can get them for our typical price range. Yeah. And then on the call side, let's say here plus 20. So you can take anything 280, 285, 290, or even 300. We have time, especially, but the later you take that trade today, because again, if it's run according to the purpose, their game today, the entire game today for Baba is just to make theta decay and the option to lose value. And then, so if we are patient and we wait toward the end, then in the last hour of the session, yeah, I will definitely be looking to set myself off for the rest of the week with based on the quartz analysis with a bias on the bullish side. So that's how we are going to trade or trying to trade Baba today. Thank you, folks, for your time. We hope you got something out of it. It's Tuesday. The week is still young. The week is still young. We can definitely ease ourselves into this. I wish everybody a good trading session, and we catch you on the next episode. Until then, have a great day. Have a great afternoon. Have a great evening, wherever you're watching from. Bye-bye.